King Charles III's state banquet tribute to his eldest son, Prince William, was more than a beautifully crafted speech. It was a masterclass in blending history, diplomacy, and paternal affection on the world stage. To fully appreciate the depth and resonance of this moment, let's dive deeper into the evening's unfolding drama, the layers of meaning behind every phrase, and the lasting impact it may have on the monarchy's future. The grand arrival and atmosphere. As guests descended the sweeping drive toward Windsor Castle, the sense of occasion was palpable. Historic carriages, some dating back to George III, lined the approach, their horses plumed in crimson and gold. Inside the George IV state dining room, its ceiling frescoed with allegories of war and peace, hundreds gathered beneath glittering chandeliers. Servers in white gloves moved in silent choreography, presenting courses of Dover sole and Windsor lamb, sourced from the very estate that has housed Britain's guardians for almost a millennium. Music floated through the hall, first a quartet playing Handel's Water Music, then a specially commissioned waltz blending French and British motifs, honoring both nations' shared cultural heritage. It was in this ambience of candles and conversation, of flute and string, that Charles rose to speak, a figure who has spent his life on such stages, yet rarely with words so personal. Weaving past and present. When the king invoked William the Conqueror, he did so with scholarly precision. In 1070, he reminded the assembly, "My ancestor commenced the rebuild of Windsor Castle, forging a symbol of Norman legacy." By choosing that date, he drew attention to William's own recent efforts. In the past year, the Prince of Wales has championed extensive restoration of the Round Tower's inner walls, personally overseeing conservation plans to safeguard the castle's medieval fabric for generations to come. This parallel, Conqueror and heir working to preserve the symbol of the crown, was unmistakable. It painted William not merely as a successor by birth, but as an active steward of Britain's heritage. The implication: William isn't waiting in the wings, he is already fulfilling the duties of a future king. A father's subtle counsel. Throughout his reign, Charles has balanced tradition with modernity, advocating environmental causes while upholding royal ceremony. In his tribute, he offered more than praise, he imparted guidance. By applauding William's choice of Adelaide Cottage, he subtly endorsed the notion that a monarch in waiting must also be a parent. He seemed to be conveying, rule with compassion, lead with integrity, and ensure your family's well-being remains at the heart of your actions. For anyone who has watched William navigating the delicate terrain of public duty and personal life, revealing his own struggles with anxiety and fatherhood, this counsel was both timely and illuminating. Charles's words reassured that the crown values not only ceremonial prowess, but also the quiet virtues of empathy and domestic stability. Catherine's quiet reinforcement. Seated beside Prince William, Catherine, Princess of Wales, offered her own expression of emotion. In prior events, she has softened the formality of such gatherings, like the Royal Variety performance, by visiting unannounced backstage to thank performers. On this night, her hand rested briefly on William's arm as he rose to acknowledge his father's words. That silent gesture spoke volumes. A family united, resolute, and ready to shoulder the mantle together. The king, in turn, referenced Catherine indirectly when he spoke of "my son" and his family. Although not by name, the Princess of Wales was part of this tribute, her role as mother, partner, and patron implicitly recognized alongside William's heritage. The menu as metaphor. Even the evening's menu underlined the speech's themes. The starter featured Scottish langoustines, an homage to the Princess Royal's recent tour in Scotland, while the main course comprised Windsor lamb, slow-roasted in garlic and rosemary, a recipe documented in the Queen Victoria archives. Dessert, a delicate French patisserie-style millefeuille, symbolized the Franco-British friendship underpinning President Macron's visit. These culinary choices mirrored Charles's words, a blending of history and hospitality, tradition and innovation. Just as the speech connected 11th-century conquest to present-day parenting, the dishes fused regional heritage with cross-channel collaboration. Global and grassroots responses. While state broadcasters in London and Paris covered the speech in prime time, reactions poured in from every corner of the Commonwealth. A group of schoolchildren in Sydney watched via live stream, cheering as William and Catherine appeared on screen. In Toronto, Canadian military officers toasted the tribute at a reception hosted by the High Commissioner. Even in Ajaccio, Corsica, once the cradle of Napoleon's ambitions, locals raised a glass of Corsican red wine in salute. Closer to home, a flower stall outside Windsor saw a sudden spike in sales of white roses, William's emblem, and Norman lilies, William the Conqueror's heraldic flower, as residents sent bouquets to the castle in a grassroots display of support. Social channels lit up, too. Royal fan communities shared clip reels labeled Dad and Heir Moment, while historians tweeted analyses of Charles's rhetorical strategy. The speech's strategic ripples. Political analysts have noted that Charles's carefully worded praise may also serve to shore up public confidence in the monarchy's succession. With debates over royal finances and the institution's modern relevance gaining traction, a vivid demonstration of family unity and devoted leadership carries political weight. It shows the monarchy can adapt, embracing family life in Windsor's hedgerows while maintaining the pomp expected of the heir. Furthermore, by aligning William's personal choices with the Crown's legacy, Charles forestalls criticisms that the younger generation is too relaxed or out of touch. He reframes their private life as an asset, proof that tradition and modern parenthood can coexist under the royal roof. Beyond the banquet, the road ahead. In the days following the banquet, William is scheduled to accompany his father on a confidential trip to promote a new environmental partnership with French conservationists. Later this month, the couple will host a stress-busting playdate for military families at Adelaide Cottage, an event that will be exclusively live-streamed for the first time, a nod to transparency and public engagement. These upcoming initiatives signal that Charles's tribute was not a standalone flourish, but the opening note in a broader duet, a father and son presenting a united front on causes vital to both: cultural heritage, environmental stewardship, and family welfare. Psychological undercurrents. Psychologists observing the event noted how public praise from a parent, especially one in a position of immense authority, can bolster an heir's confidence in fulfilling future roles. William, who has spoken candidly about experiencing imposter syndrome in high-profile moments, may have found in his father's words a powerful antidote to self-doubt. The speech thus functioned on both a diplomatic level and as private familial therapy played out on a public stage. A moment etched in stone and memory. When history looks back on the Windsor State Banquet of 2025, it will recall more than the glitter and grandeur. It will remember a king who, in the twilight of his reign and the midst of personal health trials, paused mid-ceremony to honor his heir not only by birthright, but by deeds and devotion. It was a moment that turned stone walls into witnesses of a living legacy, one that stretches from Normandy's ramparts to the peaceful gardens of Adelaide Cottage. Your reflections on this historic tribute. What do you make of this richly layered tribute? Did you feel Charles's pride echo through the centuries? Do you view this as a pivotal morale boost for the monarchy? Share your reactions below. Every comment enriches our collective understanding of royal life. If this deeper exploration captured your imagination, please like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more insider analysis. Thank you for joining us on this extended journey into royal ritual, familial devotion, and the enduring allure of Windsor Castle. Until next time, keep your curiosity burning and your passion for palace intrigue alive. We'll return soon with another in-depth look at the next chapter in Britain's royal story.